Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Ken. If you guys have any so we have appreciate that, thank you. Hi, I'm Ken. Crystal, nice to see you. I'm Ken. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again.
Now I met from John.
Nice to see you. See you.
Okay, is everybody ready?
Imagine a world where you're always running on empty. You're juggling work, school, and life's endless to-do list. But it always feels like you're missing something. So you try to reach for that product that says will energize you, but it never quite delivers. This is where Neos comes in. We're here to provide a nutritional juice tailored just for you. So no matter the health problems you have or the nutritional gaps you got, we're here for you. And it's all local and natural as well, meaning there are no added sugars or fillers to make our juices taste delicious and healthy in the same time. And it gets better from here. With every bottle you buy, you're not just supporting your own health, but you're supporting the local farmers. As we buy their surplus produce, they experience and churn them into delicious juices that we will present to you here today. So every bottle makes an impact. As we're here to fight food waste here together, we're making you feel good, do good. Hello, my name is Cesar Davidillo, and I am the CTO of Neos.
Hello, I am Stephanie Diaz. I am the CEO of Neos.
Hi, I'm Crystal Lopez. I'm the CMO of Neos.
Hello, I am Geronimo Garcia, and I'm the CFO of Neos.
Now, Fresno County is the home of 4,400 farms according to the 2022 census done by the USDA, the backbone of America's agriculture. However, 60% of them are small farmers. A lot of them struggle. We talked with over 30 farmers here locally in Fresno, and 25 of them told us the same story. After putting all their work and effort into growing the produce, they end up having a lot of leftovers. Why? Because unlike big farms who have big distribution channels and even big contracts that connect to even bigger markets, they solely rely on local farmer markets, pop-ups, and in-person sales, which leads to food being wasted or lost. And while that's happening, 1 in 3 Americans, done by the National Institute of Health, are dealing with vitamin deficiencies. And done by a survey from the same organization, they found out that 60% of them admitted, I don't know how to manage my health. I don't know how to fulfill my nutritional needs. This is a problem. It's not about waste. It's also about healthier communities not being able to grow to the fullest extent. So let's ask ourselves this question. What if the produce that is being lost could fuel a better future?
But that's why we at Neos are working hard to make that future a reality. To make our juices more than just a product, but a lifestyle. To make a bottle that reduces produce waste while being 100% made of surplus produce. And it gives back more to the community as well. Because we're transforming it into delicious drinks that are packed full of nutrients and vitamins that make your day more clean, simple, and a life a whole lot easier.
We're not just there for the nutrient tailored. We're also there for the athletes that need that additional boost before a game or before a workout. We're there for the picky eaters that don't like meals that have broccoli because of the taste. We're there for the people that want something delicious. Take Rachel Adams, for example. She's a 25-year-old personal trainer who's health conscious and eco-conscious as well. And between training her clients and going to the gym, she doesn't always have time to take the time to make a meal that she needs. And that's where Neos comes in. It's easy and it's fast, just like your schedule.
Now, what makes us stand out from these large, big corporations of juices? Well, to start off, we got no fillers and no gimmicks. No added unnecessary things, just pure produce from local farmers. When you look at our expiration date in our bottle, it won't have an unrealistic expiration date like 5 years from now. Our other unique value proposition is local farmers. We take all this produce from specifically small local farmers here in Fresno and give them an extra revenue stream. Along with that, we got functional, tailored nutrition. Neos is not only taking into consideration where we're taking our produce, but how we're serving our customers. See, Every single juice has a certain line, whether it's for specifically iron deficiency, vitamin D deficiency, or people who want extra protein or extra caffeine. That is in availability with our juices. It's also accessible. We know you want to not have to wait in line before a workout, before a busy schedule. You want to get there and have it quick. So we have fridge units that are in your gym, so the moment you get out, you can get refreshed by our juices. We also provide eco-friendly options. All of it is eco-friendly. See, we use glass bottles, and you're fighting food waste as well because of the produce that we use. And now I can talk about all the unique value propositions, but let's get to tasting. So my teammates will here pass around the 2 flavor of juices.
I do tell you though that if you do have allergies, I wouldn't suggest you drink them, but if you want to take them, you can take them.
So this is an example of one of the flavors. We got a lot of ingredients compared to other juice companies. We have collagen, celery, apples, kale, ginger, lemon, orange, and cucumber. This is specifically to help hydrate an athlete after working out and help with the collagen to help with the skin and the repair of muscles. The ginger is also to help with digestion and disinflammation. If you scan our QR code, we would love to have the feedback of all the juices because as much as we care about how our product is made, we care about how it tastes as well.
And as for our competitors, there are 2 main differences that I can tell you that are from our competitors. One is that we make sure that we buy the surplus produce, giving back to the local farmers and in turn giving back to more of the community. But you see, our competitors only act like normal customers, buying the normal fruits and vegetables and never really contributing to anything. And as for the other thing, we make sure all of our equipment, materials, and bottles are eco-friendly. As our competitors, they only have the bottle eco-friendly and rarely anything else.
Currently, we're active on our social medias like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. Our YouTube will be a central hub for customers to see the farmers that we source our produce from, and they can hear more about the backstory of them. This is an example of the refrigeration unit we will be using and placing around the Central Valley area, in places like gyms, coffee shops, etc. Next, we have a pop-up cart, which we will have at farmers markets as well.
Now for our customer distribution, our Get, Keep, Grow. We're focusing on social media and interactive quizzes to really get people to realize this actually is a problem and treat them with curiousness by reaching them through social media to get our customers. Not only that, but with free samples and pop-ups, we can ensure that we have a connection locally, since our demographic is going to be specifically with local. To keep, we want eco-impact reports so that you know what you're doing is good. Having the amount of pounds that you're saving from going to waste in the bottle label, as well as the farmer you're supporting. With loyalty programs and memberships to give you earlier access to limited edition flavors, which comes to our growth. With reviews, fridge stations, and seasonal limited edition flavors, it'll catch people's eyes and want to be curious about trying our product.
For our ad, we'll first demonstrate the farmers and their struggles, and then we'll demonstrate the product itself. Then we'll show our demographic with this product, and then we'll do our call to action.
Small farmers work hard to bring fresh produce to your table. But at the end of the day, not everything finds a buyer. Not every fruit gets this big break. Some just wait for their moment.
Neos gives that moment a second chance, turning fresh, local surplus into something bold. Nutritionally tailored cold-pressed juice. Not only is it delicious, it's empowering, giving back to the community one bottle at a time, helping you feel good, and do good.
After we launch our ad, we would then like to gather data from the analytics that we have gathered from our ad, and then we'll end with email lists and pre-orders for this juice.
And as for our landing page, you can type in your zip code here so you can find the nearest Neos refrigerators around you. And then you can also type in your email so you can get the latest updates, discount offers, and all that type of stuff. Even the newest Neos juice too.
So our total addressable market is everybody in the Central Valley who will be making at least $100,000 a year. Our serviceable addressable market, we're going to focus only on 3 counties, on Tulare County, Fresno County, and Madera County. We have a 1% conversion rate So we'll be able to sell about 67,000 units by the end of year 1. So with those, we'll be making $840,000 in profit, or not profit, sorry, in revenue, with a steady 3.6% conversion growth rate. So by year 2, we'll have 870,000, and year 3, we'll have 900,000. Our startup cost is $100,000, with a lot of it coming from buying the refrigeration units and having to buy the refrigerated vans. Those are taking up a big part. Oh, my bad. Okay, so the cost is good. Is $7.2, with it coming from the produce. We have to buy it from the farmers, so it's around $3 for them. We'll be selling them for $12.50, making around 42%. Now is our startup cost. As you can see, 64% is taken up from our plant, property, and equipment. So this is for the refrigeration, the van, and having to buy a space in a commissary kitchen. And the SG&As was $170,000. We really want to focus on marketing and getting our name out there and bringing everyone else to the NEOS vision. So now our key metrics. By year 1, we want to make $350,000 in profit. We would also like to have 3 locations with our refrigeration units and go to different pop-ups and farmers markets.
Now, for the assumptions, we want to, with our ad, effectively communicate NEOS values. Make sure that they know that there is a problem and get them interested in a solution, therefore our product. For our success, we're looking at a 5% click-through rate. They watch throughout the whole ad, and then they click on our website, but that doesn't mean that they fill it out. 1% of the total sign-up to really make sure that our 1% conversion rate is valid and correct.
We hope you scan our QR code and follow us on our journey and NEOS' opportunities that have to come. Help yourself and help your community to a NEOS bottle with every sip an everlasting impact.
As we're here to make you feel good, feel good,
and do good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. This, you guys are really thorough. This is probably one of the most thorough research probably that I've seen in a long time here, and I've been judging for a long time here. Good work, and that kind of diligence, it's going to pay off in your success. You have more information on your slide deck than I can possibly get through, but any question I was having along the way, as soon as I have the question, you're answering it. But bravo to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And not just that you're doing a good job with your presentation to us, but you're setting the foundation for your success and what you're going to do. So I'm going to segue off of that and talk to you a little bit about farmers and their overproduction or their under contracted sales and what happens with that, because I'm familiar with that. Also something called culls. Culls are, okay, so you know what culls are. Yeah, of course you do. Just look at everything. So one of my first W-2 jobs was I was 14 years old and I got hired by the Smith Camp family at Wawona Ranch. And their packing ship had all these peaches, nectarines, stone fruit they call it, coming through. And these ladies looked at them and as they're coming by, and if they don't pass, they go in the middle on the other one goes out this conveyor. They just dump into a big dump bed truck. And that dump bed truck would just go out and dump them, and they just compost it. And then they use the compost because they didn't know what else to do with it.
Yeah.
Because their buyers would only accept a certain grade. It's called a grade. And you have a USDA inspector on site making sure things are meeting grade. So, along with that, you're talking about even smaller farmers that have ripe fresh, like tree fresh stuff coming off. That's even better because it's going to make this richer. So you're going to find those. I'm just thinking that you may want to also look at the times of year Not everybody knows this. There's exact times that every single product comes off the tree, off the vine, out of the ground.
Yeah.
They're windows of time. They're so close to the same every year that I don't know how long, without putting preservatives, which makes it great, how long can you store it? Because, or you're going to have to store the fruit. So you're either going to turn it into juice, which is going to be easier to store, or you're going to have to store the fruit. They might not have room. So think about that too. Like, how are you going to solve having your product year round when your product's so fresh, it has no preservatives? How long can it last? So look into that a little bit too. Your fruits come off from June through September. Your fruits, your vegetables come off even further in than that. As early as maybe say late March, you'll start getting vegetables. And vegetables will go through all the way as long as there's what are called thermal units.
Yeah.
So if I think what I'm tasting is a mix of vegetable and fruit in both of these, right? Beets and something else in here. I'm not even sure what this is, but I know there's both. I can taste celery, so I know there's vegetable and fruit in here because the fruit's bringing the sweet, right? Okay. Along with that, you might think about this as kind of wild and maybe down the road, but people are really getting hands-on. You might consider creating a community that could grow for you in city backyards, and you'll come by and pick up. And they get your stuff in exchange because they provided when the cucumbers come off like crazy. Like one plant will give you off so many of families like, I can't eat all these cucumbers, give them the neighbors, you know. And so if you have little raised beds or something in backyards and you did it all over town, so much easier. They got water, you can get them fast.
To answer one of your questions on like how we're gonna make it preserve for so long, it does last for originally 3 to 5 days, but since we are using glass material, it's going to be for 2 to 3 weeks. So it lasts us for so much longer.
Okay, so you will have seasonal things, and you can do that on your website. Say it's seasonal. Get ready. Here comes this, and they'll be like, "I love that when that comes. I'm going to go get that or whatever." You know, just like the big read. Yeah. So work with the seasonal things because if you're going to stay fresh, you're going to know that it's seasonal. You know, and then people can grow stuff in greenhouses. You're going to want to look for people that got greenhouses that'll grow for you because you won't have stuff year round. See, the growers here. I don't know if you know this or not. Central Valley, you're right about those statistics. Fresno County Farm Bureau has all those statistics about growing here. But the growers that are big here, they bought property in Chile because Chile's on the opposite side of the equator. And so they grow the same things there and they can fill the contracts year round. So that's hard to get their culls up here. I don't know if they would ship, so you're going to want to look for greenhouses for some of the stuff. Tree fruit's going to be tougher, but vegetables all day long, and vine fruit, stuff like that. Anyway, kind of excited about it. Great presentation. Very thorough. Very good.
Thank you.
We really appreciate that.
I want to say that you have a potential other revenue stream. As I started thinking, because he answered my question about if you're looking for leftover fruits and vegetables, that maybe a smaller number that you would pull from. But then you're going to juice everything, then you're going to have a whole bunch of leftovers.
Well, actually, the best part about that is that I've been researching about this. The juice that will be left over if nobody buys them, or the juice that is like left to waste because of expiration date, these juices churn, so we're going to compost them. And it goes back into the ground. And so because of the vitamins and minerals inside of these juices, it's like a very rich soil that it produces.
I mean, you could sell that. So now you're making revenue from the compost.
And adding on to that, when we do the cold press juice, since it is cold pressed, it takes all the disgusting, skin, which is also very nutritious and can be used for cattle and horses and things like that.
Dairy industry needs feed all the time. You're right every day. So
Positives all the way.
Revenue stream for you guys besides your machines and your trucks and all that, because you're going to have leftovers as well. I think we all love the vending machine ideas. I'll let others speak because most of my notes are going to be here. High scores from you.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
So I'll go quick, and I like the story you told. Like you really told the story, and I was engaged from the minute you started speaking to the very end. So I'm just going to talk about the presentation and scope because these guys know way more than I do about all the technical stuff. But you just made the personal connections, and I really was interesting. You had so many perspectives in that you're considering. You have the farmer, you have the user, you have the eco-friendly angle. And then as I was making connections, because that's what good stories do, right? They help the person listening make connections. My niece, and I'm gonna see if it works out. She's a young entrepreneur here in Fresno County. She's got this business she's launching, and one of the things she's launching is she just took a big group up to Yosemite, and she's got a big retreat up in Montana. She's been showing on her Instagram, I'm going to share with you guys her Instagram, this lady who she's promoting her juices. And it's very much similar to what you guys are talking about. But I appreciated the fact that you're talking about, like, even trainers and people, because she teaches yoga, and she's outdoors, she's always busy. She's always saying, like, I barely have time to eat, I barely have time. So sometimes we think, they're not really the target customer, but they can be, right? That's And I'll share with you her Instagram, and I'm gonna see her tomorrow, and I'm gonna share her your site. If she goes to that, she'll see what you guys are doing, because she's very much about promoting the local community, but it was very much tailored to the community. And it told a good story, and it made me feel good, and it makes me want to buy your juice. And I'm not a big juice person. I like all the pulp and everything, but I really appreciated it. So, nice job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am your target market. I juice in the morning, and I juice at night. I do Lassi bowl, and it's something that I do. I do like the flavor tone. Do you guys have any spring water or anything else that you're putting in the juice? You should consider something. The flavor just goes away real quick. It's hard to catch a lot of it. And then out of curiosity, it's beets and is there carrots in here? What else is it with? Just beets?
Beets nutritional, so there is.
Yes. Okay. So on the magnesium and potassium, where are you guys? Is that coming from the beets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is like an estimated because obviously we don't have like
Well, you are not paying for shipping multiple times. A lot of times shipping is one of your biggest factors. So when you were buying glassware for the brewery, we would look for other brewers to come to get glassware and purchase it together so we can get more on one pallet and we can share that expense amongst brewers. Same with buying yeast or buying goods. And then lastly, I would love for you guys to quantify how you're actually helping the local farmer. I understand you think you are, but if there's that many local farmers in our community, I really want you to quantify what that means. Because that's warm and fuzzy, and I like that, but I'm not, this is a business. If I'm going to invest in you, I need you to quantify that. Like, what's that actually mean? What's that mean to the farmer? Because they have to know how many carrots you're going to buy. They have to know how much celery you're going to buy. So are you going to go to 10 different farmers for local celery? No, you're not. You're going to go to the consumer. You're going to go to the manufacturer who's providing you with the service. And that's where, in business, that's where you start thinking, oh, that's why these big companies use the big distributors, because they can handle the volume. Because the last thing you want is to have a product that's really good and you run out. That's the last thing you want. Ampersand would be a great example of that. When they first opened up, they would sell out, and people didn't want to go to their ice cream shop because they didn't know if they were going to sell out. They didn't want to wait in a long line and have no ice cream. That's a real problem. So they had to change their manufacturing. So just consider that. I understand your heart. When we opened Rocket Dog, we had Fresno State make our hot dogs. We would run out of sausage dogs. We would run out of chicken sausages because they were being made at Fresno State. We ran out of ice cream because we wanted to source it from Fresno State. I get that desire to do that, and yet there is a reality to it. So just quantify it before you go too deep down that hole.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys.
I'm gonna keep it a little short, but you guys, all your team members have stage presence, talent. I hope you move on with this business because you guys should stick together because you all have individually talents that make this incredible team. And you're selling me on this. Everything about the whole team is confidence, and I loved it. I mean, I kept smiling in disbelief and shaking my head like, how could it do better? And you just keep exceeding my expectations. It's professionalism on a level where I just am amazed. So, great job. You guys practice. I know you do. You guys practice. I see you practice, and you take everything seriously. You do research, and you even had questions. You already had the answer to Josh's question.
Yeah.
That takes research and time. I mean, I told you guys this. You want to be asked the hard questions, and you keep wanting harder questions.
Yeah.
That's how you know you've done your work already. Because you put in that work and you want to be asked hard questions so you can tackle it, right? So, Caesar, great job opening. Of course, confidence, really good. The only other thing too, I don't know if you brought this up, so you were going to dump the whole product after its expiration date. Do you have a plan in place like Rosa Brothers where it's a glass bottle, you can dump it out and reuse that bottle, and you have customers can come in and refill like to a machine so you're not impacting landfill?
Yeah, so that is something that we have thought of in the future, which is the membership, where you can, do like kind of like a milk process back and forth, where you can send it up and then we'll refill it to make it as sustainable as possible. That's one of our really valued companies, and so that's one of our plans in the future.
That sounds great. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It was great.
Thank you. It was an awesome presentation. I loved it. I love the fact that you had a sample. That was great. Right, so you have that. And I also love the fact that you had a feedback survey, right? So people can give you feedback on how they like it. Just one quick question about the click-through for the conversion. If you could go with that part. So would you say that out of like 100%, 5% click through it, and then 20% of that people that click are actually going to sign up? So the 1% is of the total, or is it the 1% of the 5% that click?
All of the total, yeah.
Okay. Do you guys think that's like realistic, that like every fifth person that clicks on it will actually sign up?
Well, this is like the 1% of like the views of the ad. And we're looking into the different juice brands and their conversion rates. And 1% is something that I would think of. So that's what we went with because of that.
Right. Yeah, I was just curious about this. I love the fact that you look at compared to the other juice companies. I really love the idea that you're taking a problem that we have and make something great out of it. Right? I think we've been talking with Lisa a lot about, hey, what business ideas can we have that actually solve an issue? And I think your guys' idea is really fantastic. So kudos to that. I hope you guys are doing this. And then in terms of the business model, what's interesting is, people talk about franchising, things like that. I'm just curious in like schools, right? Like schools buy so much food, and where do they get it from? Right? Yes. So anyway, just choose it. And then the other thing, one idea is I want to also hear is the idea. If I understood it correctly, you guys basically collect that surplus vegetables and fruits and whatnot. One thing might be to think about like vegetable boxes as well. Right? Since you already have this, there is like subscription boxes, right? And there's existing businesses that do that, and that might be something for you guys to think about. Well, if already, because I imagine that would be the biggest part is just collect all the surplus vegetables and then,
Yeah, I would love to spend some time with you guys trying to figure out how to make it a subscription, because we do that for coffee. There's like the coffee pod where we put our things in a bag and then we ship them back to the consumer. I'd love to see if there's a way of being able to monetize it somehow, where that can also be a part of it, where you're getting these shipped back. I don't know. There's a lot to think through this. So I put my email on there for what it's worth. Don't email me, email me. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the Jesus. That I know I'm doing.
I'm curious, do you have a special machine to seal this? Or how did you make it?
So we got them from a supplier last minute, so we are classified. Yeah.
You just trust the technology. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully you're wearing gloves.
Thank you.